a complete immense knowledge, a wealth of knowledge on textile technology and textile engineering. So I would just like to give a 2 cents about what we are doing at Refiber. So Refiber is there as an app like we mentioned during the launch where we are talking about a complete traceability and a complete measurement and verification process of each and every apparel which is tracked. Going forward, as the world progresses, we are going to be needing something known as the digital passport. The European Union has already evolved with the EU DPP right from the manufacturing stage to where the cotton is grown, to where it is converted to fiber, where it is converted into fabric, and where it is converted into into a textile, into a finished product. Via the DPP, the complete cycle is traced up to the point of sale. Via the OterRi app, which is a laundry aggregator app, we trace the life cycle of the wash and everything of the product and the end cycle via the Refiber app, giving it a complete 360-degree circularity. This is the only product which is tracking the apparel right from the start. Moving ahead, Refiber will be connecting with manufacturers where we get the birthplace, where the textile and where the apparel is created, and we will be tracked right to the end of the life cycle of the product. That is the entire story of Refiber, and to contribute to the environment and to contribute to sustainability, we have been continuously carrying out drives in various societies, various locations to collect the post-consumer textile waste and give it to wonderful organizations like TISR to upcycle them and convert them into products which you can't even believe are upcycled. We worked some wonderful gift for some of our esteemed dignitaries, and all these products are upcycled. Outside at the entry, TISR has created a wall, a cloth, a fabric wall. There are fabric swatches on which I request each one of you to put your initials. All these will be stitched and woven into a proper brand kit which will be put on display. That is the strength and that is the fantastic kind of work that TISR is doing. So I would request all the esteemed members of the audience, with your leave, at the entrance, please sign on your swatch and help it to get converted to a nice blanket. And I'll just put you on to Neha now. Neha, it will be a real pleasure if you could speak about yourself.
So I'll talk a little about IFBEC and what we intend to do. So International Fashion Business Exchange Council. I would firstly like to thank Ruprashi ji. So here with International Fashion Business Exchange Council, our focus is to bring in the industry together, and the collaboration is the key, is what we all see. And circularity and sustainability, what we are hearing since morning, is just not something to do just with the environment, but now it also has an economic sense. So currently it's a $43 billion economy. Lost opportunity is what we see if we don't convert the textile waste. It's not a waste until it reaches the landfill. It's a resource put into proper use. So here is where we play a role to see that the policies are right in place to support the industry, and see that the value chain is integrated, because no one can work in isolation if we are talking about closing the loop. And to add to this, the recycling takes in place, because closing the loop will happen when the recycling will happen. So here is where we are supporting the industry and working with partners and like TISR and OterRi and many more, so that we can have a congruent value chain. So that's our role. I'm looking forward to partner in and work in collaboration with the industry here. Thank you so much.
Somewhere we are not surprised. One very good thing that I personally liked about Refiber is, they believe if you don't measure what you are doing, then you are not doing anything. So the app, which is the key to be associated, where it's fine. You are providing employment, you are providing environment conscious. However, what is important is what are you doing to environment? How much CO2 emission you save? And how much is the methane emissions? I know methane is not very critical in this. And how much the water saved? From one shirt to manufacture, the new one, you consume 700 liters. to be precise, 765 liters. So that translates, why do we need to recycle or upcycle, okay, whatever you call it, or repurpose can be done. So sitting with Pranod a few days back, I know it's in a very initial stage, nascent stage. I'm sure the app will come out with what have you people contributed, what the consumers have contributed. It is not OterRi, it is not Refiber, it is a consumer. Want to say something, sir? So it's a consumer who is contributing to the environment. It is not giving few shirts or pants, ultimately it's in kgs. So by recycling or upcycling so many kgs, you are saving so much of CO2 and so much of water. That's precisely what is very impressed. I've been sitting with him for a few days. So I've been a frequent visitor to Japan. Okay. I know this is not that we are lagging behind. I have been to Uniqlo, one of the biggest brands. Today Uniqlo is one of the largest collecting point of old clothes. Believe me, independent of the brand. How they do it? They have across Japan, all Uniqlo branches have. You know, Nokia used to do it for electronic waste. All of you put your battery, put your Uniqlo does it entire Japan. I tried to talk to India people. It's not yet picked up perhaps, but they said they will do it. They collect tons and tons of old clothes. I physically have seen, and whatever that can be reused, they reuse it by cleaning and again putting it back to use as good as new, and then they give it to needy people. Don't say that Japan doesn't have, there are, okay, and they export it to other countries as well. And they do whatever it is completely unusable, they convert it into fiber by their chemical recycling. I've seen it, the amount of waste they collect. Recently I was in their office. It's a huge, tremendous, humongous work that they have done the collection. We go on. Use and continue to talk.
Recycling. Most of the people, Honorable Minister mentioned that Panipat is doing wonders. So Panipat, yes, definitely acknowledges doing wonders, but Panipat is using industrial waste. Post-consumer textile waste is a big challenge because segregation and identifying the composition of what percentage of polyester is there, how much is the percentage of cotton, XYZ is the biggest challenge. So managing post-consumer textile waste is one of the most difficult parts. As Prasanna said, in the next few days, every consumer will be able to get a complete dashboard in the Refiber app, which will mention the methane, carbon dioxide, the number of trees, the amount of water, a complete dashboard, and they will come to know that they are serving the country as a very, very responsible citizen. Jignesh, over to you and your wonderful AI insights.
I think I should go last, right? Because I'll let the ladies.
Sure. Looks like that.
No, it's fine.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, from my perspective, I think when we speak about garment or textile waste, we talk about it at the end of the garment's life. But it's always about collecting, sorting, and then recycling. But I think we are talking about it too late in the conversation. And we all have heard the 3 R's, right? Reuse, reduce, and then recycle. So, and it comes in this order for a reason. You reuse as much as you can, you reduce waste, and then you recycle whatever is left. So at both Ethique and Laundromania, we try to help consumers reuse the garments as much as they can. Tech can play a great role in this, right? Imagine if you can just put a picture of the stain and tech can tell you whether the stain is going to go or not. Or, specifically if tech can tell you at what stage the garment is and whether it should be reused, it should be donated, or it should be recycled. So if that AI or tech can help us with, that will really help in elongate the life of the garments and producing less. So that's what we do at Etik and Romania with our high performing solutions from around the world for all specific type of garments, shoes, bags, or whatever it is. Lastly, I would also like to talk about how we should educate the consumers, because it's very important to understand that a blended fabric cannot be recycled, right? So when somebody is producing polycotton, it's very difficult to recycle it. Of course, you can reuse it, but it's difficult to recycle, and it takes a longer process, and it's difficult. So, educating the customers to buy pure cotton, pure linen, and thus, the manufacturers will be forced to do that. I think that's also a very important part. I will leave it at that. Thank you so much.
Suji, I have some very interesting questions for you.
Okay.
And would love it if you can share some of the insights, because whenever we have met together with the different laundry challenges you mentioned that you've had, first being, like you mentioned, very, very stubborn stains, because what happens, a consumer believes that once he's giving an apparel to a laundry, they're expecting 100% results. And you being a veteran in the particular business can throw some insights as how by, giving certain examples, how we have saved those fabric and saved the environment by getting rid of the stubborn stains and stubborn things with some of your ethnic products and laundry. It will be a very interesting for the audience to hear the different challenges you face.
Sure. I mean, the first thing when a customer calls us is we tell them, please do not process the garment at home unless you have a specialized solution or a stain removal for it, right? Simply just dab it with water, and that's about it. Do not rub it, do not do anything, because at that time the stain becomes permanent. So that's number one. Number two is really educating the customer not to use Rin, ala, bleach on everything. Customers use it on colored garment, and the garment fades away, and then they come back to us where we can revive the color. That's not possible because the dye has gone off. That's the second challenge. And third, just using Surf Excel on everything won't work. You cannot clean a silk sari at home. With Surf Excel, you cannot clean a silk surta or a cashmere. That will get ruined, that will get wrinkled, that will get faded. So we at Etik provide specialized solutions for that. For a silk sari, we have a different enzyme-free solution, completely safe to wash at home. Another big thing in this industry is residue on garments.